Hello, this is the final video in a series of videos describing how to set up Pandemic, how to play Pandemic, and the other rules associated with Pandemic. This one is going to involve all the special things associated with Pandemic and how the game ends. So in terms of the three special things associated with Pandemic, there are the special event cards, what happens when I develop a cure, and what happens when I eradicate a disease. So first on the event, okay, these are within the player deck. So most of them are these city cards, but a couple are these event cards. They say on them, play at any time, not an action. That means as a player, I don't need to spend an action to play them. And also as at any time literally means at any time. If I'm about to draw my 8th card, and I don't want to have to discard a card, I can play this before drawing that 8th card. So as soon as I play this, I have 6 cards and I draw my 2nd card. Okay. And these are all these events allow for special things to happen within the game. So for example, the event Airlift, move any one pawn to any city. Get permission before moving another player's pawn. So, I'm the scientist. Maybe I have enough cards to develop a cure, but I'm not in a research station. I can use this to get that person to a research station. Okay. Developing cures. So we talked about how to develop a cure, but what happens when we do develop a cure? So let's just say I've developed the blue cure. I face it this way. Now there's two sides. There's the no symbol and then a blank. So I've developed a cure. I put blue on there. Or, now let's use yellow in this case. Because there's enough yellow on here to make sense. As soon as I develop the yellow cure, treating disease becomes that more simple. Okay. For example, I'm white, I'm in Buenos Aires, the yellow cure was just developed. Okay. Now, Buenos Aires and Sao Paulo and Bogota are still vulnerable. They can still get infected even though the cure is developed. However, treating the disease is that much easier. Instead of taking 3 actions to remove all 3 cubes, I only need to take 1 action. I take 1 action and all 3 are removed. Okay. Now, let's say I eventually eradicate all the yellow. So on this board, I got 1 blue remaining. So let's say I'm red, I remove that blue, and there's no more blue on this board. As soon as that happens, the blue disease is eradicated. It means that we've developed the cure so efficiently that if it ever popped up again, the local population could handle it without having the expertise of the CDC team. So, for example, if I pulled up Montreal again, nothing would happen. Or if an outbreak, so blue, essentially as soon as the blue the blue disease is eradicated, blue cubes can never come onto the board. A blue city can still be infected by an outbreak. So if an outbreak is triggered on LA, a yellow will still be placed on San Francisco. But blue cubes can never be replaced onto the board. Okay. So those are the 3 special things. And now the 4 endgame conditions. In Pandemic, there are 3 ways to win, 3 ways to lose, and 1 way to win. The 1 way to win is have 4 cures developed. They do not need to be eradicated, and I do not need to have disease cubes off the board completely. Okay? If I have these 4 developed, whatever is on the board does not matter. I have won the game. Okay? Now, in terms of losing, there's 3 different ways to lose. First off, over here in the outbreaks, if I ever reach an 8th outbreak, the skull and crossbones, the game is ended. I've allowed too many outbreaks to happen. The game ends, I lose. Okay? If I go to place a cube and I don't have that cube available, like, you see all this yellow, let's say this was not eradicated, Well, I go to the tray is empty, but I need to place a yellow cube. Well, the game ends because I don't have enough yellow cubes. Yellow has gotten too out of control and has killed the population. Okay. The third way to lose is if I run out of the player deck. Okay. If I go to draw cards and I cannot draw cards, the game ends. So let's say there's 2 cards left. Well, I draw my 2 cards. Okay. In that case, it's an epidemic. We'll just say it's those 2 cards. I was able to draw 2 cards. Okay, so the game hasn't ended yet. I will get 1 more round. 1 more player will get to play. But when that player goes to draw cards, there's nothing left, the game ends. As such, that is the limiting factor on a game. A game can never last longer than the pile is thick. And that is the conclusion to all of the videos in this series. If you have any questions, refer to the rule book.